Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really digging into team collaboration. How effective are teams really?
Exactly. And we're drawing some key insights, actually, from the book Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabon.
Right. The idea is to see how just watching everyday team stuff, those little interactions can, well, tell us a lot about their strengths and maybe where they could improve.
Spot on. It's about finding those actionable observations in the day-to-day dynamics.
Okay, so let's look at this first observation. When a member of my team has a lot to do, the others give him a hand. But the response is not often.
Hmm. That not often is telling, isn't it?
It feels significant. What's it suggesting, you think?
Well, it kind of points to a potential gap in that proactive support. People aren't automatically jumping in when a teammate is overloaded.
Right. So the team might not be as resilient.
Precisely. That lack of stepping up voluntarily can impact resilience, maybe lead to burnout for some.
Mhm.
It's sort of a missed chance to build that collective strength.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's contrast it with this one then. The members of my team willingly ask the others for advice. Often. Now that sounds much better.
Oh, definitely. Often asking for advice. That signals a really healthy environment.
Healthy how? Like trust.
Yeah, trust, openness.
Yeah.
It shows people aren't afraid to say they don't know something. It fosters, a learning culture within the team. Collaboration gets stronger because of it.
Good point. Okay, here's another. Usually there are several members of my team working on a project at the same time, and they help each other with it. Often.
Right. So multiple people, same project, helping each other. Often.
That sounds like solid teamwork in action.
It really does. The insight there is that this frequent helping on shared tasks suggests a good sense of shared responsibility. People feel invested together.
And that helps get the project done, presumably.
Absolutely. That mutual support directly boosts efficiency and, well, the chances of success.
Okay, moving on. How about this? The members of the team know what the others are doing and what they need. Often.
Ah, the awareness factor. Often. That's pretty crucial.
Why crucial? What does that awareness enable?
Well, it means the team is likely well coordinated. If you know what your colleagues are working on and maybe what they're struggling with, you can step in proactively.
So, less stepping on toes, fewer bottlenecks.
Exactly. It leads to a much more unified effort, better flow.
All right, and the last one here. The members of my team have complementary know-how, and everyone knows who to go to for specific information, nearly always.
Oh, wow. Nearly always. Yeah, that's a strong positive signal. Nearly always.
What does that strength indicate?
It suggests really clear roles, or at least a clear understanding of who the experts are in different areas. People aren't wasting time figuring out who to ask.
Team knowledge sharing becomes really efficient.
Super efficient and problem solving too. The team can quickly tap into the right expertise. It maximizes everyone's strengths.
So if we pull all these observations together, what's the kind of overall picture we're getting of this team?
Well, I mean, it looks like a team that's actually quite strong in communication generally. They ask for advice. They know who knows what. That's great.
And they collaborate on tasks when they're explicitly shared.
Right. The collaboration on shared projects is there, and the knowledge of expertise is nearly always there.
Yeah.
Big strengths.
But that first point lingers, doesn't it?
It does. The main area for growth seems to be that more consistent proactive support when individuals are just generally overloaded, not necessarily on a shared task. Boosting that could really enhance their overall cohesion and, resilience.
It's really interesting how these seemingly small observable behaviors paint such a detailed picture.
Absolutely. They're like little windows into the deeper team dynamics. You just have to know what to look for.
Definitely. And for anyone wanting a really thorough guide on understanding and improving these kinds of team dynamics in project management, we absolutely recommend checking out the book Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabon. It covers this sort of thing in great detail.
Good recommendation. And maybe something for listeners to think about. Which of these observations we discussed feels most familiar in your own team?
Yeah, good question.
And maybe what's just one small tweak, one little change that you think could make the biggest difference to how your team collaborates? Something to mull over.